tears creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire. With crimson secrets and forbidden bliss, can't stay still, don't stop that thrill. My bones crave your skin, temptation within, mistakes ignite the sun.
Alrighty, everybody, we're back once again. This time around, it's going to be DNA Gamers versus MYR.IND for the ESL India Premiership organized by Nodwin Gaming. I'm CloudX, and you're watching a best of one matchup where one of these two teams will be knocked out. So, quickly, starting off with the draft, you've got the Alchemist and the Lifestealer getting banned out by DNA Gamers. They've opted to first pick the Phoenix, while the Void will be picked up by MYR.IND after banning out the Beastmaster and the Death Prophet. So, a fairly standard draft so far. Just basically just got some meta heroes getting picked and banned there. But for DNA now, they're going to come back with a bit of a curveball, getting a second pick Storm Spirit. I can't agree with this at all. Picking a Storm Spirit without the Life Sealer for that Infest Bomb into a Faceless Void and a Disruptor just seems absolutely suicidal at the moment. Storm is one of those heroes that really needs to spam out his spells time and again, and the Time Dilation, the Chronosphere, and, well, even the Static Storm help to shut down the Storm Spirit. Not to mention the Glimpse that can pull the Storm Spirit back if he slips up. He tries to jump away with the Ball Lightning, and he's tagged by a Thunder Strike. I'll still have the vision of him, can glimpse him back from long range and blow him up immediately when he's probably going to be out of mana as well. But DNA Gamer is going to painstaking lengths now to ensure that their Storm doesn't get shut down any harder. They'll ban out the Silencer as their third ban, while MYR.IND going with the standard. They'll ban out the Slaughter. So they've banned out heroes that could potentially push up against them, and they've also banned out the armor reduction now that comes with the Slaughter. So they're just banning out potent offlaners, recognizing that they've got themselves a support Phoenix on the side of DNA Gamers, along with a mid Storm Spirit. But some really rapid fire picks and bans coming out here. You've got a Puck getting banned out as well, so they really want to give that Storm Spirit a good time at the middle lane. Banning out the Puck, also another source of silences that could have shut down the Storm. But what DNA Gamers doesn't realize is that they've already got enough and more to deal with on the side of MYR.IND. You have the Wombo combo potential with the Chronosphere and the Static Storm thrown atop it. Static Storm's damage though, I mean, as a support hero, Disruptor brings so much damage to the table. It's about 200 damage a second for 5 seconds at level 1. That's 1,000 damage as soon as the Disruptor hits level 6. If you can channel up the entire Static Storm, even if you just throw it on a single target, consider it as a Laguna Blade being thrown down, but with damage over time as opposed to a single burst of damage. I mean, this really makes Disruptor one of the more potent heroes in the meta, and it's also no surprise that he's one of the most picked supports as well, even in pro games. But MYR gets themselves a Dazzle as their third pickup. DNA Gamers has a third pick on the board for themselves as well. They need a support, they need a one position, and they still need an offlaner. If they wanted to, they could still go with that Timbersaw. He hasn't been picked a ban just yet. Nope, they'll get the defense up against the Chronosphere. That Vengeful Spirit, she's been a nuisance for a long time now up against the Void. You drop a Chronosphere, she swaps you out, or she swaps out the ally that's been hit by the Chronosphere. So DNA Gamers have done well to pick up that Venge now.
10 seconds remaining.
Fourth pick on the board though, MYR.IND. I wonder what
5
MYR even
seconds
stands for.
remaining.
My Revenge, maybe? Yeah, I don't know.
Reserve time.
But I'm favoring their drop so far. I'm not a fan of the Storm and the Phoenix in this lineup for DNA Gamers. Well, Phoenix pretty much adds value regardless of when you pick him up, given that the Sunray is just so damn OP at the moment. But the mobility with the Icarus Dive, there's plenty of tools to shut it down, along with the Ball Lightning from the Storm Spirit. MYR, their lineup shouldn't be feeling too threatened at the moment, and I gotta say I favor their lineup so far. Oh, they're gonna get themselves a Terrorblades, and now you've also got the
Dire
Illusion
team
Bomb,
pick.
the Illusion Heal Bomb coming out with the Dazzle Shadow Wave on top of the Terrorblade, and they've also got themselves a tool to help them push through the lanes now. So I do like this pick coming out from MYR. DNA
10
Gamers, what do they go
seconds
with?
remaining.
Fourth pick. They need some sort of AoE damage now to deal with the Terrorblade illusions.
5
They
seconds
could go
remaining.
for a Medusa if they want to hard counter this. Medusa actually isn't too shabby a pick here.
Reserve time.
The Stone Gaze versus the Terrorblade, the Stone Gaze versus the Void, not to mention the Mana Shield to help her tank through a Chronosphere if she gets caught out. But, I mean, I'm pretty certain that MYR will ban out the Medusa if it's not picked right away. So if DNA Gamers wants it, they're gonna have to pick it up right now. But they need a core and they still need an offlaner as well. As far as offlane options go, the Timbersaw looks ever so tempting versus the Terrorblade right now. Pure damage to slice up him and his illusions. You'll have burst damage that can't be negated by his high amounts of base armor, and you'll also have the reactive armor to deal with some of the physical damage that the Terrorblade brings to the table. I would have recommended a Winter Wyvern pickup, but clearly it seems that DNA Gamers has two of their supports already snagged. So getting a Winter Wyvern is not a smart choice. Oh, they will go with the Medusa.
Radiant
So
team
they do
ban.
get themselves the counter to that Terrorblade and his Illusion army. The demon army now gonna be turned to stone if DNA Gamers uses the Stone Gaze to fruition. But MYR, they've got themselves one last ban on the board. They should be looking to ban out
10
an
seconds
offlaner, and I
remaining.
would love to see the Timbersaw ban coming out here. While DNA
5
Gamers needs to get
seconds
rid of a mid
remaining.
hero. Something that does well versus the Storm Spirit. The Templar Assassin comes to mind
Reserve
here.
time.
And I gotta say, I do favor the Templar Assassin on the side of MYR here. They'll have the armor reduction, the synergy with the weave as well from the Dazzle. And they'll also have a tool to completely shut down that Storm Spirit at mid. But then again, the Invoker's in the pool. And one can never really count out the Sunstrike into the Chronosphere combination. Or having that EMP versus the Medusa wouldn't be bad either if they want to run a Quas-Vex Invoker. So we shall have to wait and see what the last bans and picks will be, because MYR.IND are dipping into their reserve clock. Wow, they are going to ban out the Timbersaw, so
Dire
clearly they're
team
thinking
ban.
along the same lines as what I had in mind here. DNA, ban out the Templar Assassin. Do it, you know it's the right thing. Okay, they're going to ban the Dragon Knight, so they're fearing a push coming
Dire
in from
team pick.
MYR. But, I mean, the Storm Spirit does really well in the lane versus the Dragon Knight, so I'm actually surprised that they opted to ban it out after all. You've also got the Sunray to bring down the DK through all of
10
his HP
seconds
and
remaining.
all the armor as well. Not affected by, or rather doesn't
5
really affect
seconds
the
remaining.
Sunray from the Phoenix.
Reserve time.
Last pick on the board, DNA Gamers. Looking for that offlaner. Maybe a Clockwork coming out here. Or if they really wanted something wacky, they could go with the LC. Again, the overwhelming odds versus the illusions on that Terrorblade would work well. But if they wanted, they could even go for the Nature's Prophet. Not really convinced about how much value an NP would add here. But it is an option if they wanted something to help them push down towers and rat. But I feel like they need a lineup. They need a hero that can fight early. And again, the clockwork just comes to mind in that department. You want to have something to help create space for your Medusa this game. Medusa is going to take a long time to actually come online. And at the same time, MYR will just be looking to fight early. With the Terrorblade, you usually get the advantage as long as you get your early
10
items online
seconds.
quickly. Maybe a Bracer, maybe your drums, perhaps even just the treads into
Radiant
the Yasha.
team pick.
And they're going with the Weaver for DNA gamers. No, I really can't agree with this. Again, the Void and the Disruptor just great picks versus the Weaver. They'll be able to shut him down quite easily. But I mean, this is another hero that doesn't really fight too
10
early. Weaver,
seconds
quite
remaining.
squishy for the most part, and needs to get that early Desolator online if she's really going to
5
do enough
seconds
damage. But
remaining.
they're going up against a lot of armor stacks on the side of MYR, so I'm not even sure if the Desolator would
Reserve
really
time.
add that much value here for DNA gamers. Anyway, we're looking at one last pick, a middle lane hero. They have the option of getting the Invoker, the Templar, maybe even a Lina. All heroes that could do really well versus the Storm Spirit here. And with 14 seconds on the clock, they'll have to take a decision quickly here.
10
Because
seconds
it is a
remaining.
best of one. One of these two teams do get knocked out. And yeah, they'll go with the Invoker. Seems like a bit of a no-brainer, really. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if it is a Vex Invoker. EMP versus Mana Shield, as pointed out earlier. Not to mention EMP versus the Storm Spirit. If they can get his mana burnt out while he's caught in a Chronosphere, that'll be the end of him. Also, add to the fact that Invoker usually goes for the Orchid as his first item, which is another good tool to have versus the Weaver and the Storm Spirit. So I'm actually quite impressed by MYR's lineup here, and if I were to predict this game, I'd say that MYR will come out ahead. So we shall have to wait and see if DNA Gamers can prove me wrong. For those of you just tuning in once again, we're watching DNA Gamers versus MYR.IND. It's the ESL India
10
Premiership,
seconds remaining.
organized by Nordwind Gaming, sponsored by HyperX, and I'm CloudX, and I will
5
be
seconds
solo
remaining.
casting this matchup for you, which does have the makings of an exciting one. Alright, as we jump into the game, we've still got a pause coming out. MYR, we need to reconnect from their Invoker, and they also need their second pick to be snagged here. Terrorblade yet to make his entry into this game. Well, TNA Gamer Zone, we can actually do the introductions for them here. You've got Remo handling the Weaver. It'll be Storm Spirit played by Shockwave. You've got Medusa handled by Hacker. Daikaw, who the hell knows what that is, playing the Phoenix. And oh, there's actually two hackers. The other hacker's gonna be playing the Vengeful Spirit. Let's quickly use the data available at our disposal to predict which direction this game is going in. DNA Gamer Zone, they have themselves a lot of pickup potential with the Venge and the and the Storm Spirit. But they do need to secure their late game farm for that Medusa. Going to be quite a tall order versus the mid game team fight oriented lineup that MYR brings to the table. Once that Terrorblade gets his first few items, he's going to be mowing down towers at every opportunity that he gets. And with the Chronosphere to supplement him, along with the Invoker doing his thing, I feel like MYR's lineup is just going to come online in the mid game phase and non-stop beat down on DNA Gamer Zone. Long extended pause here coming out from MYR. This allows me some time to quickly check up if everything is okay on the stream. How are you guys doing, by the way, on Twitch chat? As you probably know, there's a delay on the stream, so I won't be able to see your messages immediately. But let me use this time to throw in some plugins, some shameless plugs as well. So if you've been enjoying the ESL India Premiership, just be sure to follow twitch.tv/ESL India Premiership. Tune in every time we're live. We've got plenty of esports action happening every single evening here. If you're a Dota fan, a CSGO fan, or even a Hearthstone player or a fan, feel free to tune in every evening between 6 p.m. IST and about 9 p.m. IST. on weekdays. All weekdays except Tuesdays, that is. And on the weekends, matches will be going on for a little longer, so tune in from 5 to 10 p.m. IST. Or is it? Yeah, I think it's about 5 to 10 p.m. IST. Might be unsure about that, but you can always check the schedule on facebook.com/ESL India Premiership and on Twitter at Premiership_IND. And of course, if you're enjoying the casting that I'm bringing here, if you're enjoying the stream as well, do follow me on Facebook and Twitter. You can find me on facebook.com/TheRealCloudX and on Twitter also at TheRealCloudX. It's been a lot of fun casting these matches. The Starter Cup number 2 is about to come to a conclusion on this weekend. So we'll have another 2 teams that have secured their spots for the first Challenger Cup LAN event at the end of this week. But of course, if you've missed out on your opportunity, you could always sign up for Starter Cup number 3. And who knows, we might just be seeing you at the next LAN leg of the Premiership. Well, I've run out of stuff to talk about, folks. I'm going to take a quick break here, get myself some water as well, while we wait for the Invoker to reconnect. Stay with me, guys. We'll be right back. Alrighty then, looks like I made it back in time. Here we go, MYR. We've got an instant TP coming out towards the top side here, as the Dazzle is en route to drop down those early observers and sentries. We'll start with the introductions. MYR on the dire side. You've got Storm of Hell. We haven't actually done their introduction, so Storm of Hell on the Dazzle, as you've got Cyanide on the Disruptor. Faceless Foe is going to be handled by Hacks. You've got Gionshi on the Invoker. And lastly, it's going to be ShinjaBountyArena.com on the Terrorblade. Oh, they've all got Bounty Arena next to their names, so probably a sponsor or something. Anywho, DNA Gamers, let's see what they've been up to. You've got Phoenix
30
moving towards
seconds to
the
battle.
river for now. Looking to drop down that early observer ward, or rather that early sentry ward at mid to find the D ward on the middle radiant observer. None available at the moment, but another pause comes out, this time from the dire side. They still have an observer available for Storm of Hell.
Thanks.
When he moved into the jungle, he dropped down an observer out here and a sentry down here somewhere. Yeah, so he's managed to block up one pull camp, leaving the other one available should the offlane Void choose to contest. Void, does he want to try and snag this rune? Because they do have a stun in the form of the Venge magic missile, but it may
The
not be
battle
enough. He's
begins.
walked in, might be able to steal the rune, doesn't manage to get it actually, but does get stunned out. Immediately time walks up and no real damage done. What the heck is going on here, guys? Alright, so peaceful start so far. You've got Storm picking up one bounty rune. The other bounty rune going to be picked up by Gionshi. As we should see the salve being called out here. Yep, we will see one salve coming out for the dire side. However, Storm Spirit choosing not to spend his money. And he's soon going to realize that this is a Quaswex Invoker. He started with the first point in the Quas. And he even has the Blades of Attack picked up. So we are going to see him go for the Quaswex to deal with that mana shield from the Medusa and the absurd amounts of mana on the Storm. Just waiting for the resume to come out here from the dire side. And here we go. DNA Gamer Zone. They're all prepped and ready to play this match. Phoenix walking around with a set of tangos and the clarity potion. Alright, let me apologize if my voice sounds a little different today. I'm using a different headset, so Might not quite be what you're used to, but hopefully the quality is fine and you guys are not too peeved about it. But yeah, just give me a day. Things will be sorted again. I'll be using my good old microphone once again. But at bottom lane, Remo taking a couple of hits from an Orb of Venom Disruptor. So he's really come here meaning business, dishing out a lot of damage. Uh-oh, Weaver, will he get picked off here? He actually used the Shikuchi and went far forward. Perhaps if the Disruptor got cocky there, he could have brought down the Weaver himself. But Weaver started with very few consumables. This is not a good lane for him to be in. Just one more shared tango available at his disposal. Well, he could be picked off quite easily here if he's not careful. In fact, he's getting pincer trapped here. With Remo walking up to him, they'll tag him with the Thunder Strike. Shikuchi's back online, but he's already taken damage. Oh wow, he's dead without even using the Shikuchi. That was the easiest first blood of his life here. The reflection being used by the Terrorblade, scoring the kill for himself. That gives him a full poor man shield, along with an extra quelling blade available, and he's still got all of his consumables at the ready. On top lane, you do have a single pull coming out from DNA Gamer Zone, so we're now going to see the creep equilibrium tilt towards the void on this top lane. While at mid, looks like the Storm, he's got himself a decent amount of CS, but he's not having the most fun time versus this Invoker. Wow, top lane, Phoenix, he's taking a beating himself. The Weaver does get a return kill at bottom, but Void, he's just going nuts here. Time walks forward. Another time lock might be the death of the Venge, but he's happy at the moment. Weaver, about to lose his own life, but he does have the Shikuchi now. Uses it to try and make a run for it, but uh-oh. Terrorblade knows what's up. He walks north and Remo will be forced to move through the tree line where this observer ward. It's actually a dire observer ward, so he's not going to get scattered out here. But he'll find his bounty rune on his way back towards his lane. He's even managed to purchase up a salve, which means that he could be using the courier once it's done sending out the bottle towards mid. We're going to see the arcane rune picked up on Shockwave. His Storm Spirit looking extremely good at the moment. He's got decent CS, he's got the extra rune now to spam out his remnants. Shouldn't be too hard for him to get farm in this lane, but we will see Gion, starting to mount the pressure as he's getting more points into the Vex as time progresses. Shinja, his Terrorblade's looking very strong as well. He's managed to get himself up to the top of the net worth chart, 1600 net worth to be precise. While the Weaver, forced to use the salve, continues to leech EXP under her tier 1 tower. Looks like MYR are not doing too much to control their creep equilibrium either. They just managed to solo pull this wave, and that'll be a big creep wave now pushing towards the tier 1 tower. But they've managed to single pull with the siege creep available, which means that the push is going to be pretty darn huge now, and they might even be able to take the tier 1 tower if they expend the metamorphosis once it's back online. No points in Conjure Image though, so Terrorblade not going to have enough tools to bring down the tower by himself at the moment. But all the while you've just got Disruptor being a nuisance here. Remo, he does have another set of tangos at his disposal, so he shouldn't be too peeved off by this. Looks like phase boots will be completed for this Invoker, which means he's got a little more damage to work with up against this Storm, who's moving top lane now. He's still not level 6 though. He does have stacks in the jungle, so why not put that arcane rune to use farming up the stack camps? That's exactly what he'll do. You even got the Phoenix coming in from behind, but Shockwave with the reduced cooldown and the reduced mana cost there. Oh no, no! Phoenix, stop! He's the one taking the money from some of those creeps, but I guess Shockwave, he's not too pissed off by it either. He's even got an Invis rune bottled up. But yeah, bottom lane, they're gonna pummel down this tier 1 tower, so that single pull helps out to make the push a little stronger. As that tier 1 tower is about to lose its life. Remo even takes a couple of auto attacks from the TB. Fortification delaying the inevitable here. As there will be no denies. Terrorblade will take the tier 1 tower, getting himself a little more money. And further ahead on net worth, while at mid, Shockwave's out of mana as well. Looks like the EMP did connect. They've even forced him to use a bottle charge as well as the fairy fire. While Givenchy, if he had the invoke, he could have gone for the tornado and possibly a kill. Nonetheless, still a big victory coming out here so far for MYR. They've got themselves the Storm Spirit moving back to base, as well as the Tier 1 tower claimed under their banner. While Hacks, he's been doing alright on this top lane, 19 CS, up against the 22 on the Medusa. He's actually doing really well for an offlane Void, who hasn't opted to pick up the Iron Talon and go into the jungle either. Bottom lane, did they want to make a play on Remo again? Weaver shouldn't be feeling too secure here. I think once again when the Metamorphosis comes online, that's when MYR will group up and try and take a tier 1 tower. They've got no reason to really stop pushing, and they're playing textbook Dota right now. Middle lane, an attempted gank here from the Phoenix. It is a level 6 Storm, but he's got no points in the Electric Vortex, which means he can't make the jump by himself, while Disruptor is out of mana at this bottom lane. He's done his bit to zone on Remo. It looks like DNA are getting nothing out of this early game phase. All of their cores are starting to fall slightly behind. On top, they are making a play on the Void, but again, they just can't bring him down. So Jianqi is going for the Urn of Shadow. So he is going for the early game build. Getting the procs on the Cold Snap with his Urn should help him out. While Remo, he's just skirting around the periphery here, hoping to find some sort of a recovery. But we can see that he's among the bottom 5 in terms of net worth, and he's taken quite the beating here. Yeah, they want to glimpse him back, though they don't have the mana to glimpse him, so they'll have to let him go. But it's still a free farm lane for this Terrorblade. 7 minutes in, he's at 3400 net worth, and I'm curious to see whether he just rushes the Dragonlance or if he's going to go for the drums and Yasha this game. X, you've got him pulling the creep wave to the side for now, getting that extra momentum going his way, not to mention the extra EXP. Well, Hackers try to come in and contest this. He's not going to be very successful. In fact, Hax is going to jump forward. I don't think they have enough firepower to bring down this Medusa. Void definitely can't do it by himself. They are going to need the EMP if they want to bring down that Medusa. She's got 2 points in the mana shield already. Shinja on the bounty hunter, on the Terrorblade, with the Ring of Aquila finished up. Rebo still tagged with the Thunderstrike, and oh, they almost got him with the kinetic field there. No glimpse available. Looks like Zynite might have to make a base trip, while at mid, Storm Spirit, we know that he might have to make a base trip himself. No, he's got the regen rune, that'll allow him to zip right back in and get the kill on the Invoker. So, a very good play coming out from DNA Gamer Zone. They managed to score a kill on the Invoker. The backup was there from the Venge, who punished the Invoker for diving in deep there. Remo, uh-oh, there's a sentry ward there this time. He's trying to get the kill. He will manage to bring down the Disruptor, but he loses his life anyway. And this is a trade that favors MYR again. They bring down the core Weaver, trading away the life of the support Disruptor. Now the Metamorphosis and the Illusion's already blown out there. We could see another tier 2 tower being brought down. Just look at the damage this Terrorblade does on it with his auto attacks. You have a TP coming in. It's looks like the TP got cancelled there. Not sure what the move was, but either way, that tier 2 tower, it'll take a lot of damage if not be brought down completely. There's Remo. He's coming in to try and defend. So Void has the Chronosphere, and he should be looking to put it to use at the moment, instead of just time walking around. Maybe just TP bottom and help his teammates with this next fight that's about to ensue. As we do have the Storm running forward. You know, he's thinking of jumping in on this, but that would be a very bad idea up against the Disruptor. Maybe with the Haze Rune he can try and make something happen though. Givenchy has the urn, but no charges on his urn at the moment, so he needs to find a kill or an assist to help him get that snowball start that he desperately needs on the Invoker. While at top lane, sorry, Void managed to time walk away from that Sun Ray. He does have the Chrono still, hasn't used it a single time, but he's got no mana to work with now. As the Invoker does come at his back. Okay, Chronosphere is back online, so he could try and commit here. But this Dire Observer ward has spotted out the Invoker's movement, as we see the Medusa and the Phoenix playing it extremely safe here. Good Observer coming out from the NA Gamer Zone. They've managed to dodge a gank there.
Radiant's middle tower is
Pretty
under
certain that
attack.
the Medusa would have died if she stuck around while the Invoker came in. Mid, what? Why is the Storm so far in? I didn't quite see that coming. He was so far, he dived so far in without actually having a point in the electric vortex. Well, bottom, Remo, he's trying to run for it. He will be brought down. Terrorblade, you can't escape the demon. They'll start pounding him in the back while the Dazzle actually gets the kill on it. So again, 2 cores down on the side of DNA Gamer Zone, and
Dire's
with this
bottom
Metamorphosis
tower is
expended,
under
they're gonna get another tier. They're gonna get the first tier 2 tower of this game. While Void, he's forced to use the defensive 3-man Chronosphere
Dire's
to
bottom
secure his
tower
retreat.
has
That's
fallen.
worth it, I'd say, if he manages to keep himself alive like that. While his allies take down a
Dire's
tower
bottom
at
tower
bottom.
is under
Mid
attack.
tower should be getting pressured soon as well. It's already it's taken a little bit of chip damage. Nothing to really write home about, but the Invoker, he could start to do work on it.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And now they're even gonna steal the Ancients away. This is as horrible as it could get for the NA Gamer Zone. They really need to pull up their socks and come back into this. As at mid, an offensive observer gets placed. Kinetic field along with the static storm. That's a silenced up hasted storm spirit who's going nowhere but to the grave. Another core falls on the side of DNA Gamers, and they might get more. As we see the illusions walking forward, a mango was consumed behind with the weave. They can probably tank up this tier 1 tower while trying to
Dire's
take it
middle
down.
tower is under attack.
Doesn't look like we're gonna see any retaliations coming out though. DNA Gamer Zone. They're throwing down what they can here. They've tagged him, they'll glimpse him as well. This will be a dead vengeful spirit. GG Hacker. Yeah, he's not going home for supper tonight. He's gonna get clipped with the EMP and brought down, while behind you got a Phoenix who's got no supernova. Will get sent into the air and brought down perhaps. But it's a 1-for-1 so far. Weaver gets the kill on the Disruptor while Venge died. So did the Invoker and the Dazzle. So DNA Gamer Zone actually managed to find back, getting a double kill for the Storm Spirit. While, however, the Terrorblade and the Void, they've ignored this fight. They've just moved themselves top to try and split push some more.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Looks like it's going to be a top tier 1 taken down here. While the mid tier 1 for the Radiant
Radiant's
goes
middle
down
tower
as well.
is under attack.
DNA Gamer Zone forced to trade tier 1 for tier 1. But that is assuming that they can bring this down. They will use the Metamorphosis. And I guess, yeah, that should be enough to bring it down before the TPs come in.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
So, not the worst situation in the world really for MYR. They did lose a few kills, but they continue to keep the farm rolling on their Terrorblade, who's got the Dragon Lance online and another 1200 gold. Perhaps they want to make a play here. Chronosphere has been dropped. Do they have the follow-up? They're focusing 2 different targets. That could be a mistake, but they're going to get one anyway. The time dilation slows down the other. He's got no mana to work with, and he will be going down. Terrorblade doing a truck ton of damage. While further south, you got the Invoker getting the kill on the Phoenix. Shockwave, aka the Storm, comes in. He gets silenced out. The kinetic field is not there though. The Static Storm did get dropped. Look at the damage coming out on them. Weaver, forced to use the stick charges, will be forced to run away as well, while Hax jumps forward to the low ground. They need a bash. Will they get it? One more hit? No, they won't. Hax, 3 hits, no bashes, despite having the maxed out time lock. And the Storm Spirit will survive, while Remo on his Weaver TP's out as well. 9 to 8, about 15 minutes in the graphs, indicative of the fact that MYR IND are ahead right now. They have taken the extra towers as well as pointed out earlier, and they are well on track to take all the rest of the remaining outer towers over the next couple of minutes. Terrorblade's probably going to go for the Scotty as his next item. We do see him saving up money, maybe even a Manta style. Although I'm not sure if the Manta is the best way to go versus that Stone Gaze on the Medusa. But then again, if he can manage to hold on to the Illusion Army till the Stone Gaze is down, I think he should find value in picking it up. In the jungle, meanwhile, you've got a Venge coming deep inside. There is a glimpse available, but he's been spotted out by that observer. There's the jump in from the Storm. He's used up pretty much all of his mana. As the Terrorblade, he's still alive. They've lost the Disrupt, and now Storm with the Soul Ring can't get too far. He's trying really hard to get away from this. But now they've spotted him. The EMP, the Cold Snap. There'll be the swap to save his life for now. But the time dilation has slowed down the Storm. They'll go for the Venge instead. And they'll get that kill, and it ends up being a support for support trade. While the Storm Spirit scurries away to safety. Now Void, he's gonna have himself that Chronosphere online. It is a level 2 Chrono, and he's also getting closer to his next item, which I would assume is the Diffusal Blade. Another tool that brings mana burn to the table to work against the Storm Spirit and the Medusa, to be more precise. Speaking of which, Medusa finds herself a solo tower at top, bringing her one step closer to the Lincolns. Meanwhile, mid, here comes the Swarm. There's a TP coming in from the Medusa as well. Can they take this fight? She's thinking of dropping the Stone Gaze, but there's a Chrono behind on to Remo. They've even dropped down the EMP, Static Storm, Kinetic Fuel, everything but the kitchen sink thrown down here by the Radiant side. MYR, they're about to lose one. The Grave keeps the Disruptor alive. Tornado comes through, connects onto the Storm, and that should be his death. Terrorblade already brings down the Medusa behind while Storm's about to drop. Void will get the kill. Remo trying to run for it, but he is visible, gets bashed as well, and that'll be 3 down on the side of DNA Gamer Zone, leaving the Phoenix and the Venge. Only 2 supports to survive on their side, taking no one on the side of MYR. This will be another tier 2 tower, as MYR are just dominating this game. Shinja slicing through that tower from long range as well. And Metamorphosis doing work. As they've got themselves a little extra goal now. Maybe they just decide to claim the Aegis before trying to push until last tier 2 and maybe even higher ground. Gion, she's going to find that double damage. I don't think they're going to be able to make a play just yet, but they are waiting behind, well, beyond the river for now. Well, Hacks on his Void struggles to get his next item. Chronosphere is coming back online in about 40 seconds time. And that's when we should see them making another play. On the dire side though, they have popped a smoke and they're looking to find a pick off of their own. But with the Phoenix leading the charge, that might not be the best choice. But now it's now or never really for them. They know that there's no Chronosphere for the next few seconds. They're gonna walk straight into blue. That is the Invoker. And that's a Ghost Walk, double damage Invoker. He's got to work with the Orchid. He might just get this kill on his own. He's gonna use the Tornado now. Messed that up a little bit. Should have had the EMP at the ready to throw down there. Maybe he would have gotten the kill then, but now he's forced to stay back a bit. Weaver's coming in from the side. The Swarm will be dodged. The Kinetic Field is there on the cliff as well. Nobody goes down just yet. But if they get vision, they could glimpse someone back into range. Hacks jumps forward. Doesn't deploy the Chronosphere. We did see the ping coming out towards the top side though, so they started to make the rotation. MYR looking to take the last tier 2 tower before trying any shenanigans. Void opted to go for the Yasha, not the Diffusal Blade. So he is prioritizing mobility over DPS. Speaking of Yashas, you've got one on the Terrorblade as well, so he's gonna get that Manta style online in a jiffy. As for Medusa, still no Lincoln Sphere. She's almost got it online, but it's 20 minutes in, and she should have had a little more than just the Lincolns at this point. But it will help with the Sand versus the Glimpse, and maybe even the Orchid Silence from the Invoker. While Weaver actually opted to go for the Vanguard this game, so he's just going for early survivability. Not really doing any damage at the moment though. Invoker's on the hunt, and he's now scouted out. There's no one inside the dire jungle, which means that they either smoked up, going towards Rush, or trying to make a play on MYR. Little do they know that they're just sitting inside their base as of now, trying and desperately trying to stay alive. But mid, Remo silenced, cold snap earned up, and that'll be his death. Unless they can't blow him up in time. The cold snap preventing him from using the time lapse as Dazzle gets the kill. They're moving into the jungle now because Terrorblade, he continues to push out this top lane by himself. MYR is getting ready to go for the jugular here, but DNA Gamer Zone, they are prepping to mount a defense. They've got the Supernova available this time around. We're yet to see it used this game. While the Void's Chronosphere is available as well, he could be getting in position soon enough. He chose to buy the Blink Daggers, and now he's got long range initiation potential available. And with that, the last outer tower for DNA Gamer Zone will drop. Let's see if MYR is feeling confident enough to go up onto the high ground here.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
They are doing some chip damage on it, but DNA Gamer Zone still choosing not to fight. Is doing what they can to slow down this push. More illusions coming out with that Manta style. That tier 3 tower looking not long for life. Sunray from long range though will help to burn down those illusions at the very least.
Radiant's bottom
He chop off
tower
one
is
arm
under
and another
attack.
one grows. He did get the illusion army rolling, but they're gonna back away given that the metamorphosis is now down for about 80 seconds. So chip damage was done on the tier 3, but that's all it's really gonna be, as DNA Gamer Zone has defended their high ground successfully this time around. Roshan, he's up for grabs, as Terrorblade's illusion will be following them into the pit. I don't think they should let the illusion attack him. Yeah, they're gonna move away, just leaving him out there to scout. As Invoker, sentries and observers have been placed. He needs to be careful, and that's exactly what he'll do, is he'll back away. While the rest of DNA Gamer Zone moves towards Roshan. Invoker now could be walking into a high ground sentry, which could be his death if he's not careful. Round 2, Roshan gonna get jumped upon. MYR looking to claim this Aegis, while DNA Gamer Zone are left to run behind illusions. Hacker. Look at that damage from just an illusion on this man. That is just ridiculous. That Venge needs a base trip, and she needs it now. Casual 50 armor on the Terrorblade as well, so killing him is going to be nigh impossible at the moment. Void blinks forward. He can't get the chrono. He'll drop it. No, what has he done? He dropped it up there, catching only one. He brings down the Venge, but he's about to lose his life, while Terrorblade struck down the Phoenix as well. They now got the Static Storm along with the Kinetic Field, but Shockwave, he's out of it. He's been hit by the Time Dilation, so he can't use too many spells at the moment. Fortunately for him, Time Dilation doesn't really stop the Ball Lightning, but they've already got 2 kills here on the Phoenix and the Venge. They've lost the Disruptor. The Tornado's coming through. Connects on no one. Terrorblade continues to move forward. Hacker, if he gets time locked here, he could be going down. He does get bashed once. They need another one to connect, but they're probably not going to get it. So he'll jump forward again, hoping for another bash. No luck, no joy for the Void. But this was the fight that heavily favored MYR again. Managing to get a few more kills, forcing out the Stone Gaze. And now they could even go back to finish up on Roshan.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So they're not going to see any Aegis steals here from the Storm. We know he was thinking about it, but it's a good thing he chose not to go in there. That would have been certain death. All they really have to do is tag him with the Thunderstrike, and then they can glimpse him back. As we already see him zipping a long way away now to try and stay alive. Let's do a quick item check here. Got the Dragonlance and the Manta for the Terrorblade. You've got the Orchid for the Invoker with another 2,000 gold in the bank. I'd assume he's going to go for the Blink Dagger. As for the dire side, Medusa with the Lincolns almost getting that Maelstrom online. But look at this, they're going to jump forward. Uh-oh, Silence coming out on Shockwave. The swap is there to keep him alive. Well, Hacks to jump forward. He's got no Chronosphere available. Doesn't really matter. They should slice straight through the Storm, who's respawning in 10. He did have the Bloodstone charges, but those charges are now down. The Venge is there as well for 34. While they jump forward, they want to try and bait out a Stone Gaze or something of the sort. Well, TB, remember, he does have that Aegis, so he can't afford to play YOLO like this. As Storm, he's going to jump in deep. He's got a decent amount of damage dished out, but that's another death on him. 2 quick deaths in quick succession. While the TB doesn't mind getting stoned up by the Medusa. Here comes the Cavalry. Beautiful performance there, putting the Tornado and then the Chrono on top of it. They bring down the Weaver and are about to bring down Hacker's Medusa as well. While behind, they'll focus down the Supernova first. Hacker makes a run for it. The Medusa does survive. While Weaver bought back. He's coming in for another defense. I don't know if they can really mount this here, but they're going to try anyway. Shinji walks forward, another kill. That's a godlike Terrorblade getting a triple kill and continues to beat through with the Alacrity on him. Shockwave, no, not like this. That's his 3rd death in quick succession. He's just been zipping in and dying, as it's only the Aegis taken away by the Terrorblade. And another Alacrity thrown, and look at him just laying his claws in. It's an ultra kill. Will he get the Rampager? He's thinking about going for it. Hacker is really tempting. He's still running him down, but he just doesn't have enough movement speed or damage to bring him down just yet. As it looks like they will let him get away scot-free. Raxus will still stand. Oh, Terrorblade. He's lost his Metamorphosis. Cold Snap. Uh-oh. Is that going to be the death of the Phoenix? He doesn't have the Icarus dive. He is silenced up. There's another zip in from the Storm. He's now going for the Invoker. And this time, he's going to get the kill and get zipped all the way back inside his own base. They do get a return kill on the retreat as Disruptor drops down everything he has before making a run for it. He's trying to juke through the tree lines. He doesn't have his TP available, but the Glimmer Cape is coming back online now, so he should be alright. Cyanide stuck around here a little longer than he needed to, but he Glimmer Capes and TPs, and that'll be the survival of the Disruptor. 24 for 14. MYR taking a commanding lead in terms of net worth and EXP both. That Terrorblade sitting with a comfortable 10 kills to his name. As DNA Gamer Zone are on the verge of being crushed here. They're still trying to push out their waves, but they can't push all the way through.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So you've got a 4-staff coming out on the Invoker, so he's not going for that Blink Dagger as I was expecting, nor is he rushing the Aghanim Scepter this game, which again is a smart choice. 4-staff for mobility versus Storm, Weaver, and even the Stone Gaze from that Medusa is a really good tool to have. Shinja, he's got himself the Metamorphosis cooldown again, and this is the word go. MYR thinking of jumping up onto the high ground. This time they'll have to do it without the Aegis, as it does look like Terrorblade spent his money. He's calling out a full Eye of Skadi for himself now. So Shinja is getting to absolute monster level right now. He has no deaths to his name this game. Thought for a moment the Storm was going in there. Got a mini heart attack as he zipped forward ever so slightly. Let's see how they mount this defense here, DNA Gamer Zone, because if they lose one set of Raxes, they could very easily lose a second in a matter of seconds. They do have the fortification. No, they don't. No fortification on the dice. Swarm, Sunray, and everything thrown as the Terrorblade will back away now, waiting to spawn new illusions before moving up onto the cliff. Might be a smart choice to expend the Metamorphosis right now and take down the towers quickly. Here we go, round 2, up on the cliff. Remo gonna use the Shikuchi while Terrorblade, not a care in the world, moves up. There's the Chrono along with the Static Storm. They're gonna bring down the Medusa before she can even respond. She buys back immediately. Tier 3 is down. Phoenix losing his life as well. He does have the Icarus dive. Manages to get away. Deafening Blast coming through. Storm Spirit. Silence up. Brought down. As Terrorblade gets the kill. He's laying straight into Remo now, who will Shikuchi away to safety for the time being. But the Raxes are just melting at the moment. And indeed, they'll get the first lane of Raxes very comfortably. MYR asserting their dominance. Moving forward with a vengeance. And they've already blown a big hole in the base. They want more. Hacker, he's taken a beating. The illusion's doing work as well, and they'll get the kill. He's still going forward, but he's low on HP. He needs to get the Sunder off. Can he get it? He's gonna get graved up now. They'll bring down the Supernova. He's moving forward. Sunder's there, but the Lincoln's triggers as Hacker survives. They'll force off the TB. Remo gonna get silenced up behind. The time dilation preventing him from Shikuchiing up. He does have the time lapse available, but he'll be brought down by the Orchid Burst. And again, MYR finds themselves a whole bunch of kills before backing away, even claiming a Rax. Terrorblade even gets another one, making it a triple kill, but he's gonna lose his life here. Storm jumps forward and secures 1700 gold on the back of that one kill. He could very easily buy his Yule Scepter. He's moving forward for more. Void, time walks up onto the cliff, into the jungle, and then he tries to get away, but Medusa with the Mystic Snake gets the kill. So 2 quick kills picked up here by DNA Gamer Zone on the retreat, but both those kills, I wonder if they're a little too late, given that they've got the Raxes taken down in their base. However, if Medusa manages to build some more big items, she could very well deal with this lane of super creeps, as we already see her holding on to that Maelstrom for the time being. Sunstrike to check the pit. We'll know what Roshan's duration will be, or respawn duration will be, in the next 1 minute or so. As for MYR, all they've got to do is group up yet again and try and take down these top Raxes. They've already done so much damage to this tier 3 tower. Should be a cakewalk for them to breach it again. And while the Terrorblade did die the last time around, I would assume he's going to go for the BKB as his next item of choice, making him nigh unkillable. But we're going to see DNA Gamers pop a smoke and go on the hunt. Unfortunate for them that they're not going to find anyone on the back of this. Everyone on the side of MYR is closer towards the top side of the map, which means that this smoke of deceit will be in vain. There's no gems picked up this game just yet. I feel like a gem would be a very valuable item to have here, but I'm hearing the Invoker pop a cold snap. They've gone on this Storm Spirit. He does get swapped away, however, that means the Revenge will have to die for someone else's sins. Here's the Stone Gaze, but Hacker, look at his damage! He's taken a beating. There's the Supernova. The Storm jumps in. He's been stoned up as well on the Terrorblade. The Supernova, the egg is gonna blow. They'll get the stuns off as well, but they just can't get enough damage done. Scotty slow onto the Birdie. Birdie has managed to Icarus dive away, as we are seeing the Void jump forward again. Chronosphere is available as well. Shockwave yules up into the air. He'll dodge some of the damage from that Static Storm, but he's been orchided up as he comes down. And Terrorblade finds another kill. While Void moves forward looking for stragglers. 33 minutes in, another skirmish that goes in favor of MYR. It's 2-0 in their favor. That Storm has almost no Bloodstone charges left at the moment. And lo and behold, Roshan has respawned. MYR might just get wind of this if they move into the pit.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yep, they definitely know, and they're going to claim this Aegis. Wait for the Metamorphosis to come back online before trying to push again. Another ultimate orb picked up on the Void, by the way. Wondering if he's going to go for a Lincoln's or a Scotty or something here.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Meanwhile, we have a Talisman of Evasion now picked up on the Terrorblade, so not only does he have ridiculous amounts of armor, he's also got evasion to deal with the physical damage coming out of DNA Gamer Zone. Void gonna claim the Aegis this time around. There's a glimpse coming out here. They've got Remo. He's inside the kinetic field as well. And alright, they're gonna commit the Chronosphere as well. They really want this Weaver before the fight begins, and they're gonna get it comfortably. No buyback, 65 seconds without the Weaver. And this will be MYR trying to breach high ground on the back of this, I assume. They still need 30 seconds to get that Metamorphosis online.
Dire
They're actually going in without the Chronosphere even. Void just pummeling away on the tier 3 tower, knowing that he's got the Aegis and isn't really going to feel too threatened right now. Here comes the Illusion army. Axe has the Manta Style, uses it as well, and this will be the tier 3 going down almost for free. That's the Sunray. It's going to do a little bit of work here. However, it's clearly not enough. MYR, they'll back away till they get the Chronosphere perhaps. Or they're just going to wait for this next creep wave. Whatever. Tier 3 is down and the second lane of Raxes are about to follow as well. Here we go. Alacrity, Metamorphosis. Look at the range Rax. It just disappeared. The melee Rax will follow as well. That's 2 lanes of Raxes down. And it's going to be Avenge that meets his maker. That Terrorblade is just pounding like a beast at this point. I think this is the game right here. There's nothing that DNA Gamer Zone can do. Even with the Stone Gaze, they just don't have enough damage to bring down any of these heroes on the side of MYR. In fact, they're going for the win here. Storm jumps in onto the Disruptor who's been kept alive. He'll drop down his spells, does have the glimpse, pulls back the Weaver. He's been silenced up and the Sunstrike's coming in for good measure as well. Dead Weaver, Hacker trying to do what he can. He's going to be losing his life to Terrorblade as well, who's now got a double kill, has 18 kills and forces the submission from DNA Gamer Zone. The GG comes out and MYR have knocked them out of this tournament. And they'll move forward in the ESL India Premiership. Alright folks, we've just witnessed Terrorblade domination here by MYR. Let's see if they've got what it takes to make it through the next round as well. But we'll find that out later as CSGO is coming up next. I'm CloudX, see you guys around, have a nice evening, and of course don't forget to follow, like, subscribe and share.
Turn it on.